Mercedes have been busy in the gap between seasons, with Valtteri Bottas not only notable exit from the team, Mercedes has also apparently parted ways with one of their biggest partners, Bose. Although speculation maintains that it's something to do with Mercedes boss Toto Wolff's reaction to Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen's crash in the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. The reasons remain unreported because of the fact that these decisions happen in closed boardrooms. In today's episode, we'll explore the truth behind claims that Toto Wolff is the reason for the breakdown, the partnership, and other F1 news. Stay tuned. Toto Wolff at blame, speculation or facts? Reports that have called Wolff to be the reason for the breakdown of the partnership have cited the events of the inaugural edition of the Saudi Arabia GP. In the penultimate race of the 2021 season, Hamilton and Verstappen were going wheel to wheel when the eventual champion brake tested, leading to Hamilton crashing his Mercedes into the back of his Red Bull, causing significant damage to the car's front wing. The cameras switched to the Mercedes team, showing an infuriated Wolff shatter his Bose headset by smashing it onto the table. The broken headset held together by just a wire. Despite all this, Bose reported a $25,000 profit due to the Wolff outburst. Some say that it reflected badly on the quality of the products being purchased by Bose and that it might have been seen as a disrespect to the company. Others are of the opinion that it is far too trivial a matter on which a sponsorship deal would come to an end, but do concede that it might have been one of the reasons for the conclusion of the team-up. Now, in other F1 news, Abu Dhabi GP continues to face backlash. Johnny Herbert and his 2 cents. Michael Massey, the Formula Race Director's decision in the season-ending title-deciding Abu Dhabi Grand Prix has put the sport into the spotlight at the steep cost of almost perpetual criticism of the events of the race. Following the removal of the safety car that had been deployed due to Nicholas Latifi's crash, Massey's decision to let the lapped cars unlap before letting the race continue for the final lap put Hamilton at a disadvantage. Hamilton, who had a plus 11-second lead over Verstappen before the crash, found him right on his tail with fresher, faster softs. Invariably, this confounding decision saw Verstappen go on to win the race and the Drivers' Championship. The controversy surrounding this fiasco has refused to die out, with numerous big names in the sport offering their 2 cents, the latest being Johnny Herbert and Stefan Johansson. Johnny Herbert, a F1 pundit for Sky Sports, expressed his disgust at how an otherwise incredible season came to an end in such a catastrophic manner, writing for the Motorsport magazine. Herbert said that such a thing should never have happened and should at all costs never happen again. According to him, Hamilton had been absolutely flawless throughout the race, and despite Red Bull in essence employing the right strategy, were nowhere near the blistering pace of the Mercedes, yet bad luck dictates that he lost without even having a fair shot at winning. He believes that instead of the approach utilized by Massey, they should have let the race continue without letting the lapped cars unlap, and instead of a wheel-to-wheel last lap shootout, Hamilton would have a 2-lap race with 5 cars in between him and Verstappen. Herbert is of the opinion that Massey's decision was more in the interest of increasing entertainment and attention to the sport rather than fair, and joins a list of people related to the sport that want the FIA to take a strict stand and ensure quality of the sport is not sacrificed in the name of entertainment. Stefan Johansson's point of view on the events. Stefan Johansson himself, a former F1 driver for Ferrari and McLaren, has said that he sees F1 treading the same dangerous path that led WWE to become more entertainment-centric than actually concerned with the wrestling itself. According to him, despite the fact that both Hamilton and Verstappen were driving at the highest levels and deserved to win equally, and deserved to win on the track without any controversy whatsoever. Unfortunately, he says that the decision taken by the race director was driven more out of making a thriller out of the race and less out of being fair to both drivers. He believes that despite the fact that the entire championship has been embroiled in controversy, the people running the show at F1 will be more than happy to see the sport getting added press and attention. The Abu Dhabi GP wasn't the only one he had a problem with. Johansson says he was perplexed to see the Saudi Arabia GP unfold. He was referring to the point when race control communicated to the Red Bull team that they could have Verstappen in P3 instead of P1, so as to keep the investigators from looking into him because he had taken the lead from Hamilton by passing out off the track. According to him, he couldn't believe that the race control would negotiate with the team during the safety car period. And he went on to say that as someone who had driven not only in F1 but other motorsports as well, it was the first time that he had seen something of the sports happen. He went on to question the legality and sensibility of such a thing, concluding that it must have been due to orders from the higher-ups to spice up the contest. He also touched upon the successful behind-the-scenes Netflix documentary Drive to Survive, believing that it's been responsible for uplifting the sport in the United States, and says that despite the fact that a lot of teams and drivers feel fondly towards it, he personally had to tune out after watching the first 15 minutes. He believes that a balance is necessary going forward in what's being put out to the public to see and what the ground reality is. He wants a balance to ensure that the efforts put in week out by the drivers are not trivialized and remain respected. Lando Norris on Sainz Jr., Ricciardo, and more. McLaren's Lando Norris, looking back on his 2021 season, couldn't help but speak highly of his former McLaren teammate, Carlos Sainz Jr., who joined Ferrari to partner Charles Leclerc in 2021 and finished 5th in the championship rankings ahead of both Norris and Leclerc. Reports are coming in that Sainz, who had initially been signed on till just the 2022 season, might be getting a contract extension following his impeccable season in which he finished on the podium 4 times. According to Norris, he had an impeccable 2020, but because his then teammate, Sainz Jr., according to him, one of the best drivers in F1, was performing at such a high level, he was overshadowed. He believes that his improvement in 2021 was down to 3 main things: his maturing as a driver and understanding the last couple of years much better, getting to drive a much better car that he felt comfortable driving to its limit, and the entry of his new teammate Daniel Ricciardo, who gave him the extra motivation to prove his mettle against an experienced F1 driver and winner of numerous Grand Prix. He drew parallel in his and Sainz Jr.'s progression. When Sainz went up against Leclerc, who is considered a mainstay for Ferrari and a prospective future F1 championship winner, yet Sainz has beaten him in quite a few of the GP in the 2021 season. He said that he didn't feel nervous when Ricciardo joined, even though a lot of people thought he should or would because of him being an established driver on the circuit. Carlos Perez, lack of track time and slow adaptation. Carlos Perez, the 4th teammate of Verstappen in 4 seasons at Red Bull, said that he found it difficult in the start of the season to deal with the car, which notoriously requires an aggressive driving style, as he had been driving with a different racing philosophy for much of his career, and just had 3 days to get familiar with the Red Bull RB16B. He made a fierce comeback into the season once he got the hang of the car, with just his 2nd F1 GP win at Azerbaijan, followed by podium finishes in the United States, Turkey, and Mexico. He can also be credited with having a significant role in helping Verstappen to his maiden Drivers' Championship title, because he held off Hamilton so that Verstappen could cut short the lead from nearly plus 13 seconds to just a little over plus 1.7 seconds in the Abu Dhabi GP, which, apart from being the season-ending race, was also the title decider. For his impressive form in the 2021 season, he's been rewarded with a contract renewal till the end of the 2022 season. This year, the practice days have been increased from 3 to 6 following the changes in technical regulations. This will work out in Perez's favor, who will have more time this time around to get used to the car. That's a wrap for this video. Is Toto Wolff indeed at blame for Mercedes losing a key sponsor, or was it nothing more than an elapsed deal? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.